and welcome to Nerd Positively Reviewed. This is a podcast about the things you love and the voices that do and don't. Each episode, we will travel the realms of awesomeness and I'll answer the question that we all ask ourselves every time we watch a TV show or movie. Where the hell do I know them from? I'll take a look at the directors, writers, and actors, then read some of the best good and bad reviews I can find based on title alone. I'll even give you my thoughts as well. Also, you can make up your own damn mind in under 30 minutes. I'm the self-proclaimed Emperor of Awesome, Bradley Butane, and this is Nerd Positively Reviewed. Yes, I have been following Star Wars Acolyte because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And do I like this show? No, it's not my favorite, but I like it a lot more than a lot of other shows out there. So, with that being said, man, there's some episodes that are rough. Some are better than others. I think this is one of the better ones, but they've had a huge hole to dig themselves out of, and at least they're going the right way. Do I think they're even going to get back to zero? I don't know. I hope so. We're going to see if they can stick the landing with the final episode coming up next week. But this episode 7, was released on July 9th of 2024 on Disney Plus, and IMDb started the show at a 4.4 out of 10 and is currently at a 3.5 out of 10. That is up from a 3.4 last week. Okay. Now, this episode alone is rated at a 4.9. So definitely one of the better reviewed episodes. Now, Rotten Tomatoes, on the other hand, the tomato meter, this started at a 92 and it's currently at an 83. The audience score started at a 29% and it's currently at a 14%, which has been holding steady the last couple weeks. So IMDb synopsis of the episode is simple. A bitter truth is revealed. Okay, so where the hell do I know them from? All right, this is directed by Kaganga. He's known for Columbus, After Yang, and Pachinko. Writers Charmaine DeGreat from House of the Dragon, Daisy Jones and the Six, Manhunt, and The 100. Love the show The 100. Jen Richards from Her Story and Jasmine Flournoy. I apologize for not pronouncing names correctly. I normally no talk good. Jasmine is from The Falcon Winter Soldier and Hand of God. Some of the main stars in the show are Lee Jung-jae. He's Master Soul from Hunt, New World, Squid Games. Jodie Turner-Smith, Mother Anastasia. Queen and Slim. She's over Queen and Slim, After Yang, and Bolin, and The Last Ship. You know what? I really like that show too. It was good. Margarita Levea, she was Mother Coral from The Lincoln Lawyer, Spread, and The Invisible. Dean Charles Chapman, he played Torben. 1917, Game of Thrones, Blinded by the Light, Into the Badlands. Jonas Suetomo, Master Kalnaka he's the new Chewbacca in Star Wars. Carrie Ann Moss, she is Master Indara from The Matrix and Memento. Leah and Lauren Brady are from there's Little May and Little Osha, Midnight at the Paradise. Okay, here's my disclosure. I base the reviews I choose solely on title alone. I have not read through them. Please forgive me if I mispronunciate words. I normally no talk good. I'll do my best to read them as I see it, punctuation, good, bad, and all. So let's find out what people are saying about this, shall we? We're going to start with... Yes, we're starting with a bad review here. We've got a 1 out of 10, and this is called A Masterclass in What an Angry Nobody Can Do to a Successful Franchise, and is dated for the 10th of July, 2024. Well, the last episode of Star Wars Acolyte has landed, and it's everything we dreaded and more. The characters, absolutely riveting. If your idea of riveting is watching paint dry, their actions and dialogue are a masterclass in contradiction. Truly, it's a wonder to see characters so thoroughly disagree with themselves from one scene to the next. The script, bless its heart, tries so hard to be part of the Star Wars lore, but ends up feeling like it was written in a parallel where a nobody from an ailed TV show in one episode, Direction Jobs, has vomited on something that she honestly shouldn't have been able to fail with. The twists were so unexpected that I almost didn't notice them, probably because they weren't twists at all. All right. And that ending song, I got to agree with that part. If there was any lingering doubt about that this show had anything to do with Star Wars, that song obliterated it. It's as if someone decided to take a wrecking ball to the franchise, not out of any creative vision, but simply because they had nothing meaningful to contribute. I'm suspicious that this is an effort to get back at some women she used to date that like Star Wars. Whew. That's some haterade. That's some haterade. In summary, Star Wars The Acolyte continues to impress with its ability to underwhelm. Weak characters, a nonsensical script, and a finale that feels like a fever dream. Truly, a masterful effort in dismantling a beloved universe. Is the haterade valid on this episode? Some of it, but I didn't think that this was a better. This is better than a one episode. At least they didn't do the song "The Power of One," "The Power of Two," "The Power of Many." We can agree in that. Let's keep going. Here's another bad review. All right, this one is a 2 out of 10 and called Abysmal. From to the 10th of July, 2024. This has to be the worst Star Wars content I have ever consumed, including novels, comic books, video games, and fan fiction. There is literally no logic to anything anyone does. All characters are paper thin. Their reasoning process reduced to the plot requires it. Their personalities empty and bare, and their identities devoid of any conscious thought. No character in this episode was remotely relatable. No character acted in a way that could even resemble a conscious choice. I wish they'd give some examples in that, but they don't. Exposition was done poorly and awkwardly. Footage was reused from previous episodes. The explanations given were not only unsatisfactory, they were equivalent to of a 7-year-old trying to explain why homework was lacking. Wow, that's another tough sentence. This is truly a new low for Star Wars. How the mighty have fallen. I've seen cosplay with more intelligence put into it. Whoa, cool. Um, let's just keep the hate train going, I guess. Let's do it. More bad reviews. All right, this one is called What? From the 10th of July, 2024. Warning spoilers. What story is this trying to tell? The Jedi suck? Why does Disney want to destroy hope and goodness? The characters do not make sense in any scale. May is not that bad. She just threatened to kill her sister. No big deal. Osha still has no character and is a pawn for the story. Torben can control his urges to go home. Why? Because he is bored. So dumb. Inara, sorry for spelling, has to rub it into Soul's face that, haha, I have a Padawan and you don't, but then blames him for selfishly wanting a Padawan. WTF? Is this story even showing the audience? Peter Pan shows the growth of wanting to grow up. This just shows how to waste $180 million. Wow. Okay. All right. I hear you. This is fun. Let's keep this going. Another battle. Wait, what? All right. I haven't graded any chat. Oh, this is from the 10th of July. I haven't graded any chapters so far, but I've just lost my patience. This chapter had to pay for the wait, and what ended up leaving me much more confused. I have to stop a few times because my brain couldn't process what I saw. None of the revelations come close to anything that could be called interesting. But what's worse is that most of them don't make any sense. Totally disappointed. Give me back my time. I can't think of what could happen in the last chapter to raise this dead horse, but it needs to be nothing less than a galactic masterpiece of human history. Okay, fun. Let's do One more bad review. I got a 3 out of 10 here. Let's do bad review. Here we go. Okay, this one is called And the Pendulum Swings Back Again from the 10th of July, 2024. Warning, spoilers. I actually look at this series quite positively, thinking it's bringing some fresh air to the Star Wars universe in live action, presenting the High Republic era well. However, this episode felt even worse of a filler than episode 3 that already over-explained much that could be figured out. Now we get barely a nugget of new information that with that where Soul messed up when he was coming to get Osha and accidentally killed her mom. That's it. That's the episode. And somehow Osha didn't quite catch this, so she doesn't know and is blissfully unaware. Did this flashback need 45 minutes or maybe just 5? I am leaning towards the latter. Could they have included the reveal in episode 3 and have the viewer feel bad for Osha providing another layer to the story for longer? Yes. Also, heaps of scenes were inexplicably reused from episode 3, as is, and it boggles my mind how a $180 million season could make an episode give the impression they ran out of cash and there was a writer's strike. The Acolyte continues its above all uneven quality that occasionally throw itself above the waterline to catch its breath before diving again. I fair. All right. Actually, I was gonna do some mid reviews, but there were none. So what that says, people either loved it or hated it. At the time of this recording, I couldn't find any 4 to 6 stars on IMDb. So hopefully there's some out there whenever you're reading this or you're listening to this. So we're gonna go back and do some good reviews. All right, first one is dated the 10th of July, 2024, and is called Plot Twists Over Character Depth. This isn't to say that the Acolyte has gone downhill. Far from it. However, this episode felt a lot like what happened to Daenerys Targaryen in Game of Thrones. Characters being forced into roles that serve the plot rather than their development. So many open questions. Despite these issues, Soul was the highlight of this episode for me, along with the adorable young twins. I still stand by my theories on what might happen by the end. With this flashback episode, we're left waiting with bated breath for the 8th and final episode of Star Wars The Acolyte. Happy about Star Wars, but afraid about the finale. All right, let's do another good review. Okay, this one is called, this is an 8 out of 10, and it's called The Detractors Refuse to Give Credit, and dated for the 10th of July, 2024. Originally thought the first episode was pretty well done. The second and third episodes got a bit slow, but as we got to the reveal of the bad guy and the tremendous action sequence as the episodes begin to follow, and the story started to take more shape as I truly begin to appreciate the amount of thought and depth that went into the production of the series for people who have been fans of Star Wars over the decades. One thing rang true. I think they're trying to say Jedi, are typically more bland as they are struggling to reject being overcome by their emotions. The very nature of Jedi are to be neutral to emotion. So when people comment that the Jedi are boring, they're essentially recognizing that the actors and the production team have embraced the nature of what we've seen from the Jedi throughout the decades. This episode was well done in terms of showing us a true history as opposed to the perspective we were shown from the girl's point of view. This episode cut to the heart of the matter and why May felt the way she did and was susceptible to the dark side. This episode has continued the trend of the last 3 to continue improving and expanding their story. All right, cool. Do you agree? Let's do another good review. Okay, this one is called 100 out of 10. Kagana swings episode 3 low point to the highest highs the series has so far. From the 10th of July, 2024. The power of one, the power of two, the power of many days' patience to finally see the second pairing for director Kaganga's episode 3. Absolutely worth the wait. The episode is captivating as it paid off the plot threads that raised many, many questions in previous episodes, while it's leaving more threads left untouched in this mystery. Episode 7 may be one of the strongest episodes the series has delivered so far, delivering heavily on the lore to the overarching plot with steady pacing, drama, and action. Kaganda delivers this episode on as the missing piece to the puzzle, slowly allowing us to see the full picture that we did not see back in episode 3. With one more episode left, this episode has left us on another cliffhanger, setting the series with a strong opening for the finale. Now, with 90% of the season complete, this episode has given enough insight to the story that it gives myself the urge to rewatch and binge the series before the finale next week to pick up more clues previously unseen. The Acolyte has done a tremendous job so far. Let's wait and see how the show delivers the finale next week, and if it can resolve the remaining unresolved plot threads in a satisfying manner. Okay, there's a bunch of reviews. Let's talk about what I think for a minute. I think it's getting better. It started rough, man. I liked episode 1. There was definitely a lot of issues with episode 1, but I was willing to like, okay, yeah, but it's Star Wars because the writers, whatever. And then episode 2 came, and episode 3 came, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse for me. The was I think 5 was the episode 5 with all the lightsabers. That was cool, and I felt okay, cool. We're going back up now. And this one is better than it has been, but again, it's not great. What I don't like about it is that we were misled. We were misled of what the show was. It's not Acolyte. It's not Sith. Give me a Sith show. That's what we all wanted. And this is what we got. So, it is what it is. Yes, I'm complaining. Yes, I'm hitting it hard. I realize that. I'm still watching it and I'm still a fan. Leslie Headland, I love Russian Dolls. It's such a great, great, great show. Man, I just don't dig your Star Wars vision. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, you get paid a lot more money than I do. So, and you got to write your Star Wars. You got to tell your story. I hope episode 8 changes my mind about the entire show. I hope after episode 8, I want to go back and rewatch it all together and be like, I was wrong. So, with that being said, let's do some rewards. Some awards here. My favorite character of the episode is Jodie Turner-Smith, who is Mother Anesia. I can't talk. Everybody else is the worst actor. I didn't even like Saul in this. I don't like Creepy Jedi, breaking rules, stuff like that. I don't know. I just didn't buy it. The story is weak. I don't like the way that they're telling this. The Osha and the May thing, the black mist that the witches were turning into. They all died because they were possessing Kalneka. I mean, spoilers. I don't know, dude. It's I don't know. It is what it is, I guess. The show stealer, probably Jodie Turner-Smith again. And I've been taken out of the story, so it's really hard for me to get back into the story. I have that problem with a lot of movies. I'll go to a movie, and if it starts and I get taken out of the story for a scene or whatever that just didn't feel right for it, it's hard for me to get back in. So I call it my movie fog. And the movie fog of this show is not that great. Out of a 5, I'd probably give it a 2. So, but you know what? That's my opinion. What's your opinion? You decide on where would you rank this? Where would you rank this in with the show itself or the Acolyte in a whole? Let me know. And if you want to find me, friend me, or follow me, go to Facebook at Nerd Positive, TikTok at Nerd Positive 1, Instagram at The Fandemic 1. If you feel there's more of a conversation, feel free to reach out and let's talk. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the next guest on Nerd Positive. If you want to support the show, there are several ways to do so. Buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com. On Patreon at patreon.com/nerdpositive. And you can become an episode assistant, an episode producer, a pre-veg producer like Stacy, or become part of the con, the Council of Nerds, starting at about $5 a month. PayPal or Venmo at Bradley Butane. I'm not going to say no. Most importantly, to share the show with someone you want to make a little more awesome. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review. All right. And if you like this, check out everything Nerd Positive. Me and my buddy Brian, we talk every week about anything we like to, and we get nerd deep. All right, guys. One last thing to say. Episode 7 of Nerd Positively Reviewed of I can't talk. Episode 7 of the Acolyte, you just got Nerd Positively Reviewed. Yeah.